Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
God bless you, everybody, here and on the broadcast for our Tuesday meditation. It started a little bit early, 15 minutes ago. And what I was sensing was the universal longing of the soul to merge with Krishna, to merge with the Christ consciousness, to merge with that crystal clear part of the infinite that holds all infinite possibilities of every divine virtue in that pure light of our spirit, of our higher self. It is form and it is formless. The absolute, some say. It is personal and it is impersonal. And we choose to make it personal through our hearts, through our experience, through our eyes as we see creation as the perfect divine matrix, the blueprint of the Creator's idea established in our hearts, minds. The Divine Mother transmits to us these beautiful ideations of her longing for the perfection to manifest. So in this meditation, we are going to bring this perfection in this now moment. We're going to establish this divine blueprint here in time and space. And through our God presence, our God and Goddess presence, the angels will use this power, this love, this wisdom that we will be co-creating with the Divine Mother and establishing heaven on earth. And this is the will of God. This is the love of God. This is the truth longing to be established. So for those of you who are at home who did not want to come in the rain, merge with us here. Let's take this mission on. Let's do this for the children, our children, the future children, for all life, because we contain that flame. We are the light workers. We hold that light. We hold that space. We hold that sacred fire. We hold that pure love flame. And it is through us, this new wave, this new birth of God consciousness, of Krishna consciousness, of Christ consciousness comes through. We are the living door, the living temple, the eternal flame itself. Divine Mother, Heavenly Father, Lord Krishna, Lord Christ, Divine Mother, by all your names, all your forms, and all your formless universes, from all realms and all dimensions of spirit, of source. Before time and after time, we connect this moment here. We connect this thread from heaven to earth, from the highest heaven. We open the door of perfection, the perfection of this moment, the ninth portal of God realization. Come, O holy angels. Come, O living masters of God's love, wisdom, and truth. Come, O holy angels. We command you into time and space to do this will of God, this new creation, this reforming of the divine blueprint of all creation. as we see it so, as we speak it into time and space, as it is established through our hearts of fire. See it, create it. It is yours to command. coming back. Just taking a moment to recenter, to reestablish yourself in this perfect moment, the perfection of this moment. How deep does that go? How powerful is that realization, how perfect this moment is? Take that power, take that beauty, take it in. And when we see that this very second, this very now moment is so perfect, aligned with the will of God, with the will of all that is created, flows an energy to you, an acceptance of what is, a release of struggle, and a centering in this moment, an anchoring point that you can use as like a rocket ship as you anchor yourself in this moment so clearly, so powerfully, so perfectly. And move this moment in time around you now. As you see time, the illusion of time begins to fade. The illusion of time as you step out of this bubble into a bigger universe of infinite light. And as you look into this light, and as you are absorbed by this light, your formless, infinite self is seen not with the eyes, but the part of you that is that infinite, the part of you that sees without eyes. Formless, infinite, and now moving back into time and space, back to the door of the perfection of this moment, of the beauty of this moment, of the holiness of this moment. All is now anchored into form. The all, the spirit, the formless is now filling the form. Back up again into the perfection of this moment, the beauty, the holiness of this moment, and lifting your eye, your spiritual eye, beyond the bubble of time, into the formless, infinite your God self. And all time, past, present, and future, is but a speck. In your holy light body. From this place is the place of creation, is a place that your will, your wisdom, and your love brings into form, into time and space. The beauty that you see for humanity. There is a wind that is coming, the wind of change, the wind of the Spirit, the wind of all the voices of the angels that are speaking these words. Bring it into form. Bring the formless into form through your heart, through your loving, co-creative ability to manifest God's perfect idea. And we say, yes, I will. And when you're ready, come back to your form. But remember, you are formless, timeless. All at the same time. Well, many of you know that there's a lot happening today. The full moon, the eclipse, many things are happening in the cosmic clock of the turning of the constellations of the stars and planets. So much going on, affecting humanity, affecting the universal unconscious mind of humanity, polarizing them and triggering them. And we counteract that. We bring a timeless reality into time. I know Reverend Christopher has a lot of knowledge in this area that most of us don't have, and the people online are probably wondering if he's going to take the microphone. And so I'm just going to hand it to him.
Well, thank you, Dennis. And thank you again, everyone here in the Temple of Clarity physically and online. We build this temple together. It is a temple of light and of energy. The angels create a sacred space here and a protected space. And as Dennis said, this is a very special night. We have the full moon in Taurus, and the sun in Scorpio. And those qualities, every full moon, every new moon, is a divine prescription from Divine Mother, Father God. And the angels amplify those celestial energies. They literally form a divine prescription, the way a doctor would prescribe for you in this moment. So know that this full moon, the feminine reflecting the sun, the masculine, that combination of divine feminine, masculine, when the moon shines that light on us, it has converted that light, it has polarized it, has filled it with divine mother energy. And on this bright full moon, we have a lunar eclipse. When we have a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse, it more than doubles the impact of the celestial energies that are forming. So just rest assured that you are divinely designed to receive these celestial energies, and the angels act as both amplifiers to make them stronger, and your guardian angel and your angel team around you amplify your soul's vibration, your key signature, the unique tone and frequency that your soul shines with like a star in the heavens. Your soul is a soul star. That vibration and frequency is amplified and increased. And, the angels remind us that as we're receiving, as we're, integrating and assimilating these energies, we become them. And the more we're willing to let our soul star shine, the more we're radiating that energy. They also remind us that we are this essential link from heaven to earth, that we have, these wonderful masters here, and we have the angels of high vibration, and they use us the way a musician or conductor uses the instruments in an orchestra, right? We have this divine symphony, the celestial music of the spheres and these energies, and it flows through our physical bodies the way a musician plays an instrument. Your 7 chakras, your 7 bodies are receiving and putting these vibrations into a form that the people around you can hear. If a musician is inspired, but they don't have an instrument, we can't hear that inspiration, right? So every one of us has a different frequency, like one of those instruments in the orchestra, and it takes all of us together to play this masterpiece in this moment. So it's so easy to think, oh, I'm not that important, I'm inconsequential. But think what happens if you take the woodwinds out of an orchestra, right? There's no more cello, there's no more violin, there's no more viola, and there's something definitely missing. So just be certain that as you're doing this, you're meditating, you're aligning, you're receiving. It takes so many incarnations, so many lifetimes for you to have mastered your own physical instrument, your presence, to be able to do this. And it's easy to forget that, right? In one lifetime, that you're choosing to do this with your time, with your energy, with your presence. You're joining the symphony. And the angels say over and over again that one person vibrating, resonating, sharing this energy will counteract 1,000 people thinking negative thoughts, expressing negative energies. Also, Dennis touched upon this full moon, this combination is a outpouring of unconditional love. It is the place for us to hold this in this great polarization. If we look around us and if we look at the news and media, we see polarization, we see division, we see choices of love and choices of fear. And the angels have been talking about this for many years, that we can embrace the polarization, we can embrace the increase of light and darkness at the same time, because it is that polarization that generates the energy of change. It's what gives birth to something new. So the more things polarize around us, the more the energy of love and light is working for this next birth of consciousness. And it's for us to go with that flow and know that births are messy and painful and difficult, but they bring forth new life. So, right, as much as we would love to see this like a business chart, right? Love and light started here and it's just going up. It's both happening simultaneously for a new form to emerge. And we are part of that new form, and we can feel it when we're here together. This full moon especially is embracing unconditional love. Unconditional love, Divine Mother, Father, God has for you, and then you're expressing that. So big, powerful time. Thank you all again. It's so wonderful to be here. I so appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you joining in this.
Chris, I have a question. I've read online that you're not supposed to look at the full moon lunar eclipse.
It's so interesting, right? I mean, we're divinely created. We have our crown chakra, we have our root chakra, we have our 7 chakras. There's a lamp right there, right? That lamp has 2 wires, 2 polarities that plug in. Alternating current runs through it, and that light bulb shines, right? When our crown is open and our root is open, we illuminate. That bulb cannot take in darkness, right? It's shining light out. So I always encourage people, it all depends. It is individual, and each person needs to know for themselves and follow their guidance. But when you're plugged in, you are shining so brightly. If you look at the full moon, you're taking in love, you're taking in Divine Mother. If you're afraid when you're looking at the full moon, it's like, oh my God, this is too much energy for me, right? Your root is contracting, your heart's contracting, and it could be bad for you, right? So it's very, very individual. I know people too, they get very concerned about things like EMFs and other things, which is justified. At the same time, we know when we're tuned up, right? Like if you've ever played an instrument, you know when that instrument's in tune, right? Your guitar, your cello, and you are playing. And when you're in that mode, EMFs too, they're so small. They're such a small impact or effect. On the other hand, if you're tired and exhausted and weak, then a negative influence can impact you. So I know, most of us are not at the level of a St. Francis yet or a St. Clare, but we can be very mindful and say, oh, how's my root right now? Is it open? How's my crown? How's my heart? Am I like that lamp right now? And if not, then we just ask, let me be aware of why not. And Divine Mother, Father God, and angels and masters, help me open my crown and root and heart again so I'm flowing. So it is individual, right? There's no one answer for all except the answer of love. So that's an answer to that question.
Does anybody else have any questions for Christopher or insights or anything else they'd like to share?
No, what he says is beautiful. What you said is beautiful. About that we have our own energy. And we can, it depends if we are tired or if we are open or if we determine what's going to affect us negatively or positive. We determine if looking at the moon is going to hurt us or not, or whatever radiation, whatever bad energy around us is going to affect us or not. So we are the compass that can know what's happening. So thank you for sharing that. And thank you for everyone that's here. It was beautiful meditation for me. I can feel the energy from every single person. It's different when you meditate alone and when you meditate with other people. It just, you feel it instantly. Beautiful, immense energy, powerful, that just grounding and liberating at the same time. And I do meditation. I do it with you sometimes. And if I cannot do it live, I just go back to the channel and watch it. But being present is something that does not equal anything else. Being present among other people. It's beautiful. And I thank each one of you for this beautiful, beautiful feeling that I felt during this meditation.
I was gone.
You were gone.
Even before the meditation started, I started to disappear. I had a near-death experience when I was 28 years old, and coming here to the Temple of Clarity is like a way of integrating that near-death experience, because at that time it felt like I left my body and I went to that timeless source. But here I get to stay in my body and experience the timeless source as one thing, which is exactly the assignment I was given in that near-death experience. It was the assignment I was given. I left the light and came back down into my body, and they said, find it here. That was the direction that was given to me. And tonight, I definitely experienced that as a truth, that light that I went to in that near-death experience isn't anywhere but here. It's not somewhere else. And so I just thank you so much, all of you, for being here tonight and making that realization possible for me. Just really profoundly grateful. So, yes.
So I'm doing a research about the NDEs, near-death experiences. And I've been listening to thousands and thousands of stories. And I envy everybody or anyone that was close to this experience. Some people cannot tolerate it well, they come back. Some people become suicidal or just because they wanted to be where they were at and they cannot comprehend how we are back here in the contrast after experiencing this liberating feeling. So what I want to ask you, what is the closest thing to an NDE? Is it during the deep meditation, and how to reach it, how to attain that? What's the closest feeling to this, to the NDE, to feeling in the light, if you can?
Yeah, I just had it. It just happened just a few minutes ago. So it's easy to answer that question. You know, it comes in moments where I least expect it. But here at the Temple of Clarity, I totally expect it, and it always happens without question, you know. But the only other time I can say that I had the nearest thing to that near-death experience was at the birth of my daughter. And when my daughter was born, it turned out my ex-wife had to have a C-section. So I held her for the first hour and a half of her life while Barb was in the recovery room. And holding that child, I had them, I took off my shirt. I had them shut off the lights in the nursery. I got in a rocking chair and I held her. She didn't cry. Her eyes were wide open. I put my pinky finger in her mouth, and she just, when our third eyes met, her eyes would roll back into her head, and it was like all I could see was light. I couldn't see her form. I could just see the formless being that she was and where she just came from, you know. So she was born only 18 months after I had the near-death experience. So it was really fresh in me and her coming from that place. And to just put a little twist on it, she was the reason I came back. When I was in the light, this light came to me and said, "You're going back down." And I was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Well, I'm coming with you." And I'm like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yes, I'm going to be your daughter, and she said, "It's going to be tough when you go back, but remember, I'll be right behind you," she said. So I didn't meet my ancestors or people that had passed before me. I met my daughter that was going to be conceived in 9 months and born 18 months later. So that was clearly the most powerful experience of that. So, yeah.
I'll just add on one more. One of my favorite quotes about NDEs was from Damon Brinkley. I got to know him speaking at Conscious Life Expos. And he's a kind of a big guy like me. He's a little bit like a big Southern Baptist minister approach. So we're in this big hall in 2,000 or 3,000 people, and he just opens it with saying, "Who's afraid of dying? Raise your hand," right? And like everybody raises their hand, and he says, "I've got great news for you. You'll never be more dead than you are right now. when you die, you come alive."
The question isn't if there's life after death. The question is there life before death.
Wow. That is so deep.
Beloved Lori.
So I had a near-death experience in '87, and when I got over the other side, it still makes me cry. All that existed is unconditional love, thousands of times greater than we can ever imagine here. And my first thought was to send some of it to my young children who were having a hard time with their dad. And as soon as I thought that, I heard this voice, and it said, "They're all your children. They're all your children. And your job is to go back and to remind them of who they are." And after I was told that, I'm getting sucked back down the tunnel of life going, "No!" back. So I knew what remind them of who they are meant, which is I was already teaching for 20 years or something that we are our divine essence. Now I would say we are God and Goddess. So I knew, what that meant, but what they're all your children meant, and it was emphasized. So it wasn't until years later that Yogananda appeared and explained I was a embodiment of the Divine Mother, and all of that.
Can you please talk about that?
Most of these people have heard that. So this was in maybe 2008. And I had been teaching a workshop in Ojai, and Christy, who is here a lot of the time, was my office manager, and she had booked an extra day before we were supposed to fly home. And she said, well, what do you want to do on this extra day? And I said, well, let's go to Yogananda's lake shrine, because we're not all that far from it on the way home. Well, so we're in the windmill chapel, and I'm meditating, and I'm going into this deep, state, which I can easily do. And suddenly, and I'd already gone into oneness non-duality in 2003. And when I went into oneness non-duality, which there's 5 things that happen when anybody goes into oneness non-duality, is you lose all sense of your body, there's no time, there's no thoughts, got my attention instantly, you're one with everything, and absolutely no motivation to do anything but be in that state. You feel like you whatever you've been searching for thousands of lifetimes, you have arrived. So when that happened, I saw nothing outside of me anymore. I didn't see, angels or spirit guides or any of the entities I played with before that. So back in the chapel, windmill chapel, and suddenly Yogananda appears to me. Now, I haven't seen anything for 5 or 6 years, and I'm like, okay. And he said, so when you get done with your meditation, go up and look at the altar, and you will see that all of the masters they have presented there are all males. He said, my highest devotion was to the Cosmic Mother, or the Divine Mother. And I'm asking you now if you will reawaken that in yourself for people, to remind them of the Divine Mother that is there for them all of the time. So, and he said, go look at the altar, and then go to the gift shop and get an image of the Divine Mother. Okay. And so Christy, who was with me, is just about falling off her chair because the energy is so powerful. So anyway, I come out, go up, and of course it's all male masters in the front. So we go to the gift shop, and I say, so you have an image of the Divine Mother? They say, no. Okay, I'll wait. So you have an image of the Cosmic Mother? No. I'll wait. I say, so you have a painting, a sculpture, a drawing, something. No. So finally, after a couple minutes, they come back and they go, oh, well, we have this. It's a tiny little pocket book, about a 4-inch by 2-inch square, with a tiny little 1/2-inch square picture of the Divine Mother in it. Yep, I don't think that's it. So again, you have a sculpture, you have a painting, you have a drawing, a portrait, no, nothing. Christy's going, they've told you 5 times they don't have anything. Going, who are you going to believe? The shopkeeper or Yogananda? So finally they go, oh, well, we have this. And they come back with this full carved head of the Divine Mother. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it.
Yeah.
So I get it. I take it home. I put it on my altar. My altar was right across from my bed, and so I meditated there every night. And so then I start to hear her, And then this is over a number of maybe weeks, certainly days. And then she comes into me, and I'm hearing her. And then one night, I'm sitting there doing my meditation thing, and the energy is so intense. I feel like I'm in an airplane and we're taking off. I'm being blasted like this. I'm trying to figure out what is going on. I open my eyes, and this head her eyes has come to life. Her eyes are blinking, her mouth is moving, and I thought, okay, I've gone over the edge. You can put a little light coat and haul me off. But, I might as well see what she's saying while, I'm waiting for them to show up. And apparently, masters in India have statues that come to life. So I found out later. So anyway, she's telling me, now I'm going to initiate you as a full embodiment of the Divine Mother, and I will be that, and you can make vibhuti. Vibhuti is sacred ash that the masters make in India, right? And I said, well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. But I teach oneness. I teach that we're all one. And so I don't want to be more special by, I can make vibhuti and everybody else can't. Can you make all my students, about 30,000 at the time around the world, can you make them all have vibhuti? I mean, wouldn't that be great? They would all know that they're divine, and, And so she laughs, and she blasted me with so much energy that I went unconscious. I wake up in the next morning, and I felt really different. I went over and opened up the curtains, and there's like this dust all over my altar. It's like, I just cleaned this. What is all of this dust doing all over my altar? Oh, it's vibhuti. And so a few days later, Christy and somebody told us that we were supposed to eat it. I know, so I had a silk scarf over my altar, and so we would sweep it all up, put it in these little vial things, but that would go down in between little silk threads, right? So we said, okay, we licked a finger, and we went like this, and we licked it. And that night we went to the musical Chicago, and neither of us remember anything. Nothing. One of my students says, that's just so you know it isn't dust.
Wow.
So then when I was teaching, I used it to initiate my students on their foreheads too.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2008-ish, something like that.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Appreciate it.
I think I have Lori's book on the coffee table. So,
And all of the proceeds go to the temple here.
so if anybody wants to online, you can order it. Let me see. Hold it. Yes. So you can text me if you would like to purchase these books. I have 4 copies. Thank
They're
you so much.
They're $16, and it all goes to the temple.
Thank you so
So
much.
what do you have in the book, the experience?
I have, it basically talks about the whole download that I got as the Divine Mother, which is that we go through our lifetimes in the order of the chakra centers. So first we do our survival lifetimes, our first chakra lifetimes. Those are no fun. We get eaten by a tiger really quickly, or we die from malnutrition at age 2 in Africa somewhere. Then we do our second chakra lifetimes, which are emotional and sexual lifetimes. And, that's where rape and lots of fear and stuff come in. Then we do our third chakra lifetimes, which are will and willpower. Then we do our fourth chakra lifetimes, love and affinity for ourself and others. We do our fifth chakra lifetimes, our communication with ourself, others, and the divine. Then we do our 6 chakra lifetimes, psychic perception, healing, creativity, etc. And then we do our 7 chakra lifetimes, which are spiritual lifetimes. So if that's true, then why are the little elements of all of that in each of our lifetimes? That is because each chakra has 7 layers to it. And so each lifetime you have to master on all of those layers. So for instance, I'm going to use the first chakra as an example. So the survival layer of the survival chakra is, just pure survival. You have to master that. Then the second layer is the sexual attachment to surviving, maybe procreation, or your emotions of, do I want to live or do I want to die? Third layer is the will to live. Fourth layer is loving your life or hating your life. Fifth is communicating, asking for help, for instance, if you're dying and you don't want to go yet. Sixth is your psychic intuition. I remember Oprah had a TV show on years ago, and she had all these women who had been sexually assaulted and, almost killed and stuff. And she asked them, did you know before there was any physical evidence that something bad was happening? Every single one of them said yes. What does that tell you? Get out of Dodge the minute you have that feeling. I'm dating myself to say get out of Dodge. All right. So that's that. Your psychic intuition is saying this is not safe. Get out, get out, get out. Okay. And of course, the 7th layer of the first chakra is living for your religion, or living for your spirituality, or living for your faith. Okay. So you have to master each one of those layers in each one of your chakras. And most people spend at least one lifetime going through each layer. And many people spend more than that. And then people get stuck somewhere along the line, keep repeating that one. The record gets worn in that groove until they master it. And then eventually, when you finish the 7th layer of the 7th chakra, then you're done and you're out of here and you don't have to come back. So the book takes you through, it's called Transform Your Life Now, the Spiritual Key to Excelling on All Levels. So it takes you through discovering which one of those chakra lifetimes you're on and which one of the layers you're on and how to move easily to the next layer.
Beautiful. And you cannot order this on Amazon?
Yes, you can. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
And it's got all 5-star reviews on Amazon, and I've gotten lots of accolades from editors of major metaphysical magazines and stuff. And people read it over and over again. And I just got an email saying I'm getting another royalty check soon. So still out there. It's still, doing good. And I'm very blessed to have had that message from the Divine Mother that I could pass on. So thanks for asking.
Master was with us in this meditation. I call him Mukunda. I felt him. How beautiful.
Well, we're going to sign off, I think. Now, Christopher, your full moon meditation is tomorrow night?
Oh, just really quickly, we'll do a full moon meditation tomorrow night, invoke the angels. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's online. It's on Eventbrite, and I put it on your Temple of Clarity Facebook page too.
Daniel, I want to give a comment actually from an experience for what you brought today, and also you supported with Lori talking about the chakras. It was so interesting what happened to me just right now. Just right now is that when you were explaining about that some we all have the assignment to master our own instrument. It was for me so clear. I saw the interplay of chakras, just in front of me, interplay of chakras, and a chakra with a different resonance. And spinning at the same time, because we all have different speeds, we all have different developments, and I saw the whole dynamic of all together, all the chakras together. But one thing I saw about that is what moves them, that eternal force, which is coming from the universe, like you mentioned, the interplay of the zodiac in at this particular moment. But I saw it that is impregnating everybody of us, and we absorb it in a different manner. Just because we all are not alike, we are similar but not alike, and for example, if my chakra were to the right, for somebody else will be to the left. But it's because of the how is his structure according to the density of thoughts, emotions, and traumas or whatever it is, and but we absorb it different. So people who are more refined, that means less density, they are absorbing from that force, which is from the universal force, at different layers too, because they resonate with different. But all that I saw it when you were talking about that.
Did you see the light, or you saw? How did you see it? Is there a shape for it?
How did I see it? Actually, with my inner eye was that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a light.
Like
Force.
no, I saw the, let's say, the shape of a body, an individual, with all the chakras, and it was something, that I can't find words because it was so fast. The whole thing happening, the whole show. But that has so much in it, that images, but of course you trigger me that in base of what you were telling. And I can talk a lot about that, but that's not the point. The point is that happens so fast. And I saw it. You can put frequencies, you can put sounds, sounds are frequencies too, and realities. And when you were talking about Yogananda, can you imagine what kind of as an accomplished person, which is detached, that's less density, just the adequate density to live on the planet, right? But a less density is pulling or is being targeted by the universe in a different manner that he will target me, for example. But I can, I get more confused. We start talking more about that. But that was happened to me.
Thank you for sharing, Carlos. I could see I could pick up your transmission of what you saw as you were saying it. I want to thank everybody here again. I want to say I love you. I appreciate you, each and every one of you. That this is not our first rodeo together. We've been doing this together many, many different universes, places, bringing this vibration of heaven to earth has been and always will be our mission. So we take this pure light through our crystal clear consciousness, and we radiate it out lifetime after lifetime together in our spiritual family. And we know who you are. And we know you when we see you. And it's a beautiful life. It's a life full of miracles and divine encounters and synchronicities. And when we are in the flow of the perfection of the moment, of that perfect flow that comes from beyond, then this beautiful change begins to manifest in so many different ways. And when we're together, we amplify it. And that's the joy of light workers. That's the joy of doing group meditations and having these sharings and what we do. Even our little outings and potlucks or whatever. Something beautiful will always happen. God bless you all. Thanks again for your service, your participation to bringing your song, your instrument to raise the vibration of the earth. God bless you. See you next week, next Tuesday, or online with Christopher tomorrow at 5, or online at the Temple of Clarity at 7:30. Good night, everyone.